we're back with another episode of Sasha and Leah. And as y'all can see, I'm only getting sweeter. A little bit of Monica in my life. A little bit of Erica by my side. A little bit of the Monica part. Typical.
I'm like, oh, he says my name. Peter Pablo says my name too. Monica, Tanisha, Alicia, and Rhonda. Monica,
How you like
Monique.
it, Daddy?
Does he say Alyssa in there?
No. I don't.
You wish.
I wish. Don't you think I would? That would be my only claim to fame. I would never let anyone forget.
Like, Peter Pablo said my name. Okay. Let me zoom in real quick.
How you like it, Daddy?
Keisha, Tamika, Sharonda, Yolanda, Monica, Monique, Christina, Yolanda.
How you like it?
Can you get it from the back?
Can you break it down like that?
To the 430, so 46, bigger enough than she can get to work with.
Drink a little bit.
Off and over there.
Dude, you know when you're at the club and it's like and everyone's like, oh my god, come what a fun.
Yeah, like it, Daddy.
Dude, freak-a-leak.
Freak-a-leak. Petey Pablo. Shouts out to Petey Pablo. All right. Peter Piper. Petey. All right, y'all. Welcome back to
Welcome.
a very special episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. Woohoo! Oh yeah. Why are we celebrating?
We're celebrating because we have made it a full year of podcasting.
Woohoo!
Never thought we could do it.
We made it a full year.
You had me in the first half. I've never been so committed to anything in my life.
See, I told you this would go great. I told you it would go great on a nice sunny weekend in Texas.
You sound like my patients
pandemic.
when I'm like,
So do you live by yourself?
what day is it? And they're like, it's a beautiful day outside. It's sunny and we're in Texas. I'm like, what day is it?
I don't know.
That's what you sound like.
So yes, people, we are definitely here for our 1 year anniversary episode.
Inaugural. That's not right.
Inaugural?
Inaugural is the first time.
No, I think you have it every year as inaugural.
No, the inaugural is the first time.
The inauguration of the president.
Yeah, because that's the first time they're becoming the president.
Guess. Whatever. Anniversary. It's our anniversary. A special day for you and me. Do you know what today is? It's our anniversary. A special day for you and me. Do. Anyway.
Literally no idea what you're singing.
You don't know that song?
No, who's that?
Tony.
Oh, Tone.
Oh my God. Raphael Sadiq would be so upset with you right now. Oh my gosh.
Well, don't tell him.
Wow. Can't believe you don't know that song. Anyway, so again, it is our 1 year anniversary, y'all. We made it to a year.
Thanks to you for sticking with us.
Yes, it has been. It did not feel like a year.
No, especially in this freaking climate.
Ponderosa.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Pon Dulce.
Right. So we had some people that wrote in, and thank you for everybody that wrote in all your questions, sent in your questions that you guys wanted to ask us, your deepest, darkest, burning questions for Fowler and I. We definitely do appreciate that. But before we get into the questions, how was your week this past week?
My week was...
Oh, we got champagne too.
We got champagne.
Pop in. Don't waste this on your computer, Monica.
Champagne from my real friends, real pain from my sham friends.
Okay.
No?
Okay. I just didn't know what that meant, but okay.
My week was good.
Yeah.
You know, the weeks that just kind of... This week was long. Like, it felt like I could never get to Friday.
Yeah.
I'm also working the weekend, which is rough.
Oh, you did? You worked today? Mm-hmm. Oh, no, I didn't know that.
I did work today.
I would have chose to record on a different day. Well, you would have.
I work tomorrow too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See how that works?
Yeah.
It fucking sucks. But that's
sucks.
okay because guess what? I have air in my lungs. I'm breathing on my own. I have 2 legs that work and can walk me right the fuck out of the hospital once my time is up. So
we're just going to leave it.
Yeah.
We're just going to leave it.
So it's fine. I'm fine. I'm way up. I feel blessed.
That's awesome.
How are you doing?
I am doing amazing. This week was a little bit rough. Just, a lot of stuff. Anyway, it was cool, just busy and tiring, to say the least. Like, Just busy and tiring. Yeah.
I felt good this week. Like the weather's nice. I feel like I have some energy to me. I'm not coming home and just like crashing out.
Yeah.
But I feel the winds have changed. Like
Definitely.
the clocks are about to change. It's about to get dark really early, and that's when I just hibernate.
Yeah, I just kept eating pumpkin spice all week, so that definitely made my soul glad.
Dude, I went to Trader Joe's and I looked for that bread for you.
No, that was so sweet.
They don't have
Thank
it.
you. No, they don't. You went to the one in the quarry?
No, yeah, I went to the one quarry.
Oh, those bastards. Come on, Trader Joe's, man. I have the pumpkin spice bread out for longer than a damn week.
Oh, no.
Fucking losers. But anyway, I mean, we love the pumpkin spice, but that's all I'm saying. Just, anyway, yeah.
Help me help you.
Exactly. I did get some pumpkin, been drinking hot chocolate all week.
With your creamer in the hot chocolate?
Yes, with my pumpkin spice creamer.
This woman makes hot chocolate in her Keurig. That's all she makes. And then she puts like sweet-ass coffee creamer in the hot chocolate.
Yes, I do. Don't judge me. Thank you very much.
It's giving diabetes.
No, my lab work came back great.
Did it? Yeah. Okay, great.
Absolutely. I don't have diabetes. Everyone's in my
A1C,
family,
I'd like
but-
to see that, please.
No, my last A1C was like 5.1. Seriously. I got my blood drawn last year. It's 5.1.
Last year.
Like for my annual.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wait, this year's 21. Yes. Sorry. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I got my blood drawn recently. It's fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Anyway,
Well, I'm glad.
don't judge me. Anyway.
Only the Lord can judge me.
That's right. All right. Well, you want to go ahead and get on into it with these questions?
Let's, as Trey Songz would say, dive in. Whoa.
Are we still on Trey Songz?
Yeah, always. Are you kidding? Well, no, he's.
I was going to say, isn't he a little bit? Yeah, definitely. So one of the first questions that people asked us was, number one, what made us actually start a podcast?
I love to hear myself talk.
But you don't like to edit.
But I do.
Because you're like, I don't want to hear myself talk.
So I just love to talk.
Yeah, you just love to talk in the intro, but then on the back end, you're
On
like,
the back end,
nah,
I'm not doing that.
I want to hear it again.
I don't know. Monica we kept saying in the office, like, we should start a podcast. We should start a podcast. And then this thing called COVID-19 hit.
Yes.
A pandemic. And she was like, no, bitch, we need to do something. Let's start a freaking podcast. And I was like, all right, if you do all the work, I'll show up.
Yeah. That's literally what ended up happening. So, yeah.
and here we are a year later.
I think, too, you came over to my house to flat iron my hair because everybody kept saying about my hair. Cause before I locked my hair is very thick. And so she was like, oh, it's not that hard to flat iron your hair. And you came over to my house to flat iron. And we just had a fun ass conversation. And I was like, this needs to be recorded.
Yeah.
It needs to be recorded. And so we just started.
The party hasn't stopped.
Exactly. Now we're a year into it and we're stuck now because we have, a lot of supporters and followers. So we appreciate, we definitely do appreciate your commitment to us and our podcast. So we're
people kept gassing us up. You guys should have a podcast.
They really did.
Literally, it was like two people, and I was like, "You guys are right.
Yeah,
let's do it. Everyone else can do it. Why can't we do it?"
Absolutely. So one of the other questions was, how did we actually meet? How did Fleming and Fowler meet?
I'm gonna let you take that one.
So the way that Fowler and I actually met, I worked at a particular hospital here in town, and Alyssa was a student. So of course I'm a PT. Alyssa was in occupational therapy school at the time, and her and I co-treated and co-evaled a little bit during her clinical rotation, but not a whole lot. But for some reason, I used to always call her Allison.
Yo, she would haze the shit out of me. She was so mean. She would call me Ashley, literally everything but my name on purpose. And I was like, this girl is the worst.
I called her every A name but Alyssa, and I was just like, hey, Ashley, can you come over here and help me with this bitch? She's like, it's Alyssa. And I'm like, hey, Allison, can you? And she's like, Alyssa.
So the worst. She's like, yeah, that's what I said.
I was like, that's what I said. You're like, no, you did not say that. Hey, Autumn, come on over here.
Trash.
And so her and I, we kind of bonded over that, and then she ended up getting a job at our facility. And when she got there, she was just this trash talking new grad. And so I was like, oh, okay, you're gonna keep trash talking? Cool beans. And so we just, that's how we met. She was a student first, and then she ended up coming on board as a full-time employee. So
yeah, and I just tend to gravitate towards the loud, rude, disrespectful, trash talking ass people in the office.
Bullying, berating, condescending, disrespectful. Absolutely.
And that's what happened.
That's me.
I was just like, I'm gonna have fun. Who can I have fun with?
Plus, there's not that many black people in the office too.
There was one, and I was like, every morning I would come in and sit down, and she'd be like, "You're in my seat. You're in my seat." She'd pick me out of her seat every freaking, and I would get there like an hour before her.
Listen, there's an unspoken rule when you work in a place of corporate America, especially if you don't have assigned desks. Like we don't, have that because the space was so small. I'm like, that I sit here every single week. So why would you sit your ass, your new grad, new hire ass in my fucking seat?
It was a power play.
Exactly. So I'd be like, you need to move. And she'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Love at first sight.
I know, right? And we've been rocking ever since. So that's been awesome. All right. So somebody actually wants to know, speaking of like how we met, have we ever had a disagreement? And if so, how did we handle it? I don't think we've ever had a disagreement. Mm-mm.
We've had differences of opinion.
Yeah.
But
have we had, I don't think we've had differences of opinion in the podcast. I think we've had it with patient care.
No, yeah, it's like patient care shit.
Like how to transfer a patient. That's about it.
Yeah, or like, I'll be like, no, we need to do this and that. She's like, oh, so that doesn't make sense. Do this and that. And I'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about, but that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And then we just squash it because she usually just does what she wants to do.
Pretty much.
And it works. Either way,
I'm type A.
Worked. Yeah.
I don't think we ever had a personal disagreement because too, I don't think people realize we don't hang out like for real outside of
Absolutely
like
not.
work or like the podcast. And I think I honestly do that on purpose because I want us to be able to have authentic chemistry on camera, and not that we can't have authentic chemistry without hanging out with each other, but we have totally separate lives. She has a separate group of friends. I have a separate group of friends. So, we just come collaboratively to work together, and then at work, and we have that relationship at work. Mm-hmm. And so we don't want to dip into it too much on the personal side. Yeah. Then I hate you. Then we hate each other.
Working with your spouse. It's too much.
Exactly.
You know?
So we get a chance to catch up when we record. We have, talk for a few hours before we record, and then we record and then we go home.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm already home, but she goes home.
Daddy's home.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. No, I don't think.
Our decorations keep falling, so it's totally okay. We're gonna keep going.
I don't think we fought or we fight. I'm not a fighter though.
I am, but not with you. I don't, because there's no reason to fight with you.
Yeah, because I'm always like, okay.
Yeah, you kind of just go with the flow. All right, whatever. If you're gonna do it, like I'm like, so we need to do this for the podcast and this and this and that, and she's just like, you're gonna do it? Okay, do what you want.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah,
I'm actually a shit talker, not a fighter, but
yeah.
Whatever, no.
So what was the another question that they had was, what was the inspiration for us starting a podcast?
It started out being, we're 10 years apart.
Yeah.
And we would be talking about things, and we would have very different opinions. I feel like for the most part, we're on the same page, but we still have very different opinions about things. But it's because of how I grew up and how you grew up. Yeah. Time-wise. Like, I don't know. I used a computer at school. You used, like, a tablet of rock and something. I don't know.
I was going to say a tablet. We didn't have iPads. Oh, shit.
This is a sinking ship, ladies and gentlemen. It's okay. We'll see how long we can hang up.
I was going to say the top one is still up, so we're okay.
No, we wanted to talk about the differences between being a millennial, being almost Gen Z, and therapy. There was no therapy podcast, and I think we've kind of gotten away from therapy. We don't talk about it as much as we used to. Yeah. But it started out as PTOT, differences of opinion, kind of just sharing information.
Yeah. There's other podcasts that are out there that talk about rehab, but not in the way that we do, and that have the dynamic of having a vet versus a new grad. And
they're like skilled rehab podcasts where it's like, let's talk about kinesio taping today.
Exactly.
Not like, I got shit on my shoes today in the hospital. Let me tell you what the fuck happened. Right.
We tell the real rep raw of what really happens in hospitals from a rehab standpoint. And then even the differences that we do have with regard to physical and occupational therapy, and how we operate in our own silos, but trying to get out of those silos and kind of come together to be able to, filter that into everyday life for other people. So, yeah. And honestly, too, for the podcast, for me, as far as inspiration, honestly, like I said this in the podcast a couple weeks ago, I journal a lot, or I used to journal a lot, and I still do, but I started audio journaling because it just took less time for me to write it out, and I just got lazy. And so I actually started the podcast by myself at first. If y'all hear us stop it, it's literally our decorations are falling, and it's totally fine.
Anyway, because I put them up. That's why. Yeah, that's why I'm not in charge of anything that has to do with the podcast.
The one is still holding on, so we're good with that. So don't judge our set. Anyway, so I used to audio journal all the time, and so I actually started the podcast by myself, and I had a name for it. I'm not going to say what the name was, but because it's another project that I'm working on.
I'm just your podcast lackey?
No,
you just brought me on?
No, but I started recording myself, and I was just like, nobody wants to fucking hear me by myself. Like, this is stupid. And then I dropped it this is like, but let's just like 2019, I actually started this idea, and then I was like, let me just put it on the table. And then when you started working and you and I became cool, I was like, oh my God, this would be an amazing kind of dynamic to be able to play off somebody.
But also in the office, it was just like freaking slapstick comedy.
Yes,
it was. Go, so
yeah, definitely.
We're hilarious.
We really are. Together.
Together.
Yes. I mean, we could be cornballs sometimes, but for the
true.
most part, we have this undeniable chemistry on wax. So, all right. So another person wanted to know: has anyone gotten mad about our stories that we've told about particular people on the podcast?
Like, I'm sure people are upset. I don't think like the people that we talk about listen to our podcast.
No.
Do you think?
No.
No, there's no way. I have, like, literally in my head, I'm playing like they're listening to me say this.
Yeah, like
right. They're like sitting in their car
actually,
driving. And
I'm pissed you told the story about. And I'm like, well, we didn't say your name, so.
I think there's been like 2 times that someone's texted me and been like, "Hey, you said this. Were you talking about this?"
Yeah, they want to know who we're talking about.
Yeah, but I don't know if anyone wants to come post up. How come every time I'm not around, you want to be doing this, but every time I come around, you don't want to post up? So if anyone's upset, please let Monica know. Reach out to her by email, voicemail, text. She'd love to address that.
Of course.
I don't know. I mean, all I do is talk shit, whether it's on this mic or out in real life. So.
Right. I mean, I haven't gotten anybody that's said anything like, it's kind of the same thing, like, oh, were you talking about so-and-so, or were you talking about this particular incident? I know that in one of the very first episodes, I think it was like 2 or 3, and we were talking about my sister and one of the previous relationships she was in, and I have a few sisters, but anyway, and I played the audio for her beforehand, and I was like, hey, this is what I said in the audio. Are you okay with me saying this about an ex-boyfriend of yours? And she was like, I don't care. Okay, let's stop. We got to take all this down. I'm going to leave this in the thing. We're just going to take it all down because this ain't working.
Just the one.
What? Yeah, leave the one, but we were clipping this on there.
We'll just break and come back.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Dope.
Right. Cool beats. All right, we're back now.
That still works. Fuck it. Yeah. YOLO swag.
So, for people who are looking at the video, yes, we took out all the props because it just kept falling. Anyway.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Clearly, we did this on a whim. Anywho, the decorations, that is, not the actual content. Anywho, but yeah, so I asked my sister if she would be okay with me saying that, and she did say yes. So before I talk about anybody, I always ask them, like, hey, is it okay? Like, this is what I said, and I'll play them the audio, and if they have a problem with it, then I'll take it out, or I'll splice it or edit it so that it,
So I do not do that. If you are
edit.
a close friend or family member of mine, I talk about you on the podcast. It's all love. I love you.
Yeah.
I can't run it by you. I don't even remember what I say. I listen back to this and I'm like, oh God.
Well, that's only because I edit it, and so I'm just like, that may sound kind of, you may be mad. I mean, I don't really care if you're mad or not, but I mean, I'm not going to tell anybody's deep darkest secrets on there. Yeah, definitely not. I'm going to try my best not to do that.
But if you want us to tell your deep darkest secret on the podcast, email us, let us know. I'll read it.
Absolutely. So another question that was sent in was, how do you think your podcast is going so far?
I'm truly surprised it's still going.
Listen.
Period. Pooh.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I think we're doing really good for being a year in. Like, our, followers are up on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Our subscribers are up on YouTube. If you haven't already, go ahead and go on to YouTube, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff, right?
No, I'm just surprised I have shown up every week for a year.
You had no choice because I forced you to do it.
That's why it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally will text her and I'm like, hey, we podcasting today? She's like, fucking hell. Yeah, I'll be over there around 6-ish.
I just, I don't like being committed to things.
You said you wanted to do it.
I did say that.
And now I'm making you make it.
And now, yeah, I know. You're holding me accountable. I think it's going well.
Yeah.
It's weird because I'll have like friends or, acquaintances that are like, oh, I heard you talk about that on the podcast, or like, oh no, like that was so funny when you said that, or send me clips of shit, and I'm like, it is so weird. Or they'll say like, I don't remember if we talked about this in person or if you said on the podcast, but, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that shit's what's crazy to me.
Yeah, I think our old coworker Coetha, shouts out to Coetha, a lot of times she'll like text me and she'll be like, oh my god, I was just talking about so and so and so. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yes, like, randomly she's like, oh, also you should watch this show, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh,
I'm like, oh yeah, you listen to the podcast.
Yeah, so it is cool because it's that people listen, and everyone's like, I'll meet up with friends and they're like, I feel like I just talked to you, but it's because I was just listening to the podcast. Yeah. And they're like, so let me tell you about me. And I was like, okay, fuck me then. You don't have to ask me. You just, what's going on in my life. So don't worry about it.
Definitely.
I mean, it's going well. I wouldn't say, we're fucking it up on the socials.
Listen, when the real stuff comes, like when they offer us a show, bitch, you better show up on time.
I will.
Damn it.
I will.
Charlamagne the God, we want to be a part of the Black Effect Network on iHeartRadio. We're already there.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and,
like and subscribe.
And give us a
Reach
deal.
out.
Thank you. Appreciate
I'll
that.
sign any paperwork.
I mean, I won't sign any paperwork because I got a business degree, but I will definitely look over it and have my lawyer look over it.
I'm
Thank
illiterate, so just pass it my way.
You're not illiterate. Listen, there's a lot of stuff that I'm ignorant to in the business world, so I don't claim to know it all because I don't. But at the same time, yeah, you ain't getting 20% of my money. Anyway, another question that someone sent in was, do you think that the Face Off with Fleming and Fowler gets the recognition that it deserves as a podcast?
Do you?
I mean, I think, okay, because it's us and because it's ours and we put our time and energy and effort into it, I definitely think that we should be much bigger than what we are. Like, I mean, and that's not to say that we're not doing really well, because we are. Our numbers are steadily growing. And so we are progressing as a podcast, but I definitely feel like, should we be on TV and stuff? Because people say all the time, we should have our own comedy show. I agree. I totally agree with you. I'm not going to say we don't deserve that.
Here's my thing. If I think that this show could be so much more if we had the time and resources. Yeah. And I will only have those times and resources when I can quit my full-time job to focus on this.
Exactly.
So y'all do what y'all need to do.
Tag everybody. Tyler Perry.
Make this more of a reality. Thank you very much.
Amanda Seals will be on Smart, Funny, and Black.
Issa Rae. Anyone.
Oprah.
Bill Cosby.
Lee Daniels.
If the money's right.
Will Packer. Everybody.
Oprah.
Regina King.
Gail. I'm rooting for everybody Black.
Absolutely. And white, if you got the money.
Yeah, I think we could. I mean, we deserve the world.
Absolutely.
And I will keep that in
We have a great, first of all, you cannot deny our quality. Okay, we came out the gate with great quality sound.
This audio, chef's kiss.
This is what I'm saying, and that's why I invested in quality sounding equipment, because I was like, I'll be damned if we sound like we're on a fucking phone. Exactly. I hate that. I cannot sit there and listen to people
recorded on
for
the
30 minutes.
Phone,
yeah, invest in your equipment. Invest in your equipment. That's all I'm saying. You ain't got to spend thousands of dollars, because that's not what I did. However, I did invest in the stuff that we were going to be using on a daily basis, and I feel like we're getting our money's worth.
I'm not over the year. If you knew me and my track record, that's crazy. If I stuck to anything like I stuck to this, I'd probably be a millionaire and or 100 pounds less.
Well, you're an occupational therapist. You stuck with that. Only because you need money.
I needed, I had to.
Definitely.
I had to.
Yeah, I mean, I still can't believe it's a year either. That year went by crazy fast, and so much has happened. I
wonder how many people started podcasts in the pandemic. It's got to be like record numbers.
Yeah,
it's us.
Definitely.
At us. Did you see that TikTok and that guy was talking about Steph Curry's dad? What is his name? Lee?
I have no clue.
Fuck.
But his dad started a podcast?
Anyway, no. The Twitter thread was responding to the fact that his parents are getting divorced. And he was like, you don't want to be out here. Like, you think these girls are
yeah, I did see that.
And he was like, they're all starting podcasts and all this shit. And I was like, yes, they are.
Yeah, podcasting is fun, though. It's really, really fun when you have substance and you really have something to talk about. And, we follow a plethora of podcasters, from, witch talk to sexual stuff to medical stuff. And I think it's cool, but I think it's a great thing the fact that our podcast merges both worlds, that we can talk about current events. We can talk about the latest and greatest in news, social media news, but then we can also bring the educational side of it with our actual degrees and our license, as physical and occupational therapists. So, which I haven't seen a podcast like that, honestly. Like, it's like you either get one or the other. Like, people are always like, oh, what's your target audience? Every fucking body. Everybody. Whoever will listen. Even your kids. I don't care.
People with ears. People without ears.
Pretty much. I mean, you can put on the closed caption. Shoot. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, so everybody listens. Everybody,
man.
Everybody. All right. The next question is, this is a good question. What have you learned the most from this podcast? I've
learned that I cuss more than I think that I do.
Me too. Especially when I'm editing.
I've learned that during the week, like the 9 to 5, you're at work, like it becomes mundane. Like, I've learned that I dissociate from my day to day. Like, you're just so busy, you're going through the same shit.
Yeah.
You're tired at work. And I'm trying not to do that as much. Like, we're so young. These are like the days.
Call me young.
You
Thank
are
you.
young.
Thank you.
These are the days you're supposed to remember.
Yeah.
So like the more I listen to this podcast and I talk about our days on this podcast, I'm like, I really need to be present more in my days.
Yeah.
Because it's just going to pass you by.
That's very true.
But I also learned that my job is insane. I never thought I'd be doing this. Like wiping ass for a living.
With a master's degree.
Moving meat for a living. With a master's degree. Y'all, it's the things I do. Like 50% of my week, I'm thinking like, I can't believe I get paid to do this shit. Yeah. And the other 50%, I'm thinking like, I do not get paid enough to do this shit.
No, you don't.
Like there's...
I did not go to school for this shit.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. Yeah. What have you learned from the podcast?
I have learned that my opinions matter.
Oh.
Like, I've definitely learned that I have valid opinions and that they matter. And that I want other people to hear my opinions. Right or wrong. Period. But I also learned that, too, from a lot of the different opportunities that have come from this podcast with regard to like consulting and marketing and all that kind of stuff and kind of putting my business degree to use. I've learned that I can legit do anything I put my mind to. Like podcasting is not difficult, but it is very time consuming. And if you're not consistent in what you're doing, then you're not going to have a quality product, obviously. But at the same time, I realized that I don't want to work 9 to 5 no more. That's what I've learned from this podcast.
I mean, you're running a business.
Yeah, seriously, you really are. You're running a business on the side.
You're creating the content.
Yeah.
You're editing.
Yes.
You're marketing, managing.
Absolutely. So this is really preparing me to own my own business, which I'm great. I mean, I own 2 LLCs already, but I definitely am learning that I would like to go into a different field of work besides therapy. Therapy has brought me great joy, don't get me wrong, but it is not a sustaining power for me. So
it's kind of my relation, like being a therapist, being in healthcare is like being in a relationship with a toxic partner.
Yes.
Because like you go through all of this shit where you're like, this is not healthy. This is like bad for my mind and my body. I'm exhausted. Is this worth it? And then you have like a round of patients or an interaction with a patient where you're like, this is what I do it for. Yeah. They're so thankful, or they're making progress, or you're really helping them. You listen to them when they really need it. They, you know, all those things. And you're like, oh, this is what hits me. This is why I do this. This is so much bigger than myself. I never wanted a job where I was just fucking pushing paper. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I think that's actually really smart.
Yeah,
especially in this
work smarter, not harder
economy. I was like, I can't sit at a desk all day, and I want to do something with people where I feel like what I'm putting in every day is going to something. I don't care if it's just someone being like, haha, that was so funny, you made my day. That's all I want.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what you get at work, but it's like, at what cost?
Exactly. Your mental health,
your body, and your mind.
Absolutely. And I think too, for me, and I don't know if it's the same thing for you, but like doing this podcast and having something else on the side, like this is our side chick pretty much. Like I love the side chick. I love this.
That's what I'm saying.
If we
could do this all day, every day, I would do it.
Yeah, like we could have a sketch comedy show. Yeah, because like I don't know if y'all. Well, obviously y'all know this because y'all run in our staff meetings and it's just a staff meeting between Alyssa and I. So Alyssa agreed to be the social media person. I was like, I'll do all the editing, the video, audio, whatever. You just do the social media. Ask me, has she done the social media?
Listen.
No.
I also knew that I was getting involved with a type A person. So I just agreed to what I needed to agree to, knowing that she would take it over eventually.
Why did you use me like that? Because you know I'm controlling as hell.
She's like, I'll just do it. I'm like, okay.
I'm like, you bitch. And I'm just like, I'm so tired. I don't go to bed till 2:00 in the morning. She's like, why are you so tired? Bitch, because I've been fucking editing and responding to people on fucking TikTok.
You're doing so well, sweetie. You're doing so great.
These are your people. I don't even be on social media like that. I try not to be.
I'm also like, I should have never agreed to that. I don't respond to my texts. I don't open any messages.
We have a verbal contract, so you have to do it.
I got to get on it.
Year 2, you got to do it.
It is crazy when people respond to things like on TikTok, and I'm just like, oh, like there's other people out there. Because I mean, when the people you're close with, your friends, your coworkers. I'll say this personally. If I'm talking to you on a personal level, it's probably because I like you, which means we share similar opinions or outlooks, or you don't have to agree with me on everything, but you're just like a normal person that I would fuck with. So it's interesting when other people interact with the things we say on social media, positively or negatively, because I'm just like, oh, that's dope. Like there's people I don't know that are
responding to shit.
Yeah.
Well, piggybacking off that, somebody did ask, have you all gotten any negative comments on your podcast? And if so, how do you handle it?
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, I can tell, actually, no, we have not really had very many like negative comments at all. There was just somebody who, when we made the comment about Chris Brown being a legend, and they were just like, Chris Brown is trash. And so here's the thing, what I'm not going to do. Let me just be very clear. I am a grown ass woman. I will not argue with anyone over social media, because you know what I have the power of? Scrolling. You know what I have the time to do? Argue with that. Show me the comment. Chris Brown is a legend. He is a legend. He's going to be a legend. Pull the numbers. Absolutely. Darren, pull them up. Yeah. So here's the thing. The only thing, if you comment anything negatively on our podcast, the only response that you're going to get back is, thank you for your support! ! Oh, that's it. Yeah. I'm not going to go back and forth with you about opinions. I'm not going to do it. Negative press is still what? Press. Get the fuck out. See, this is why we don't hang out in real life. So we have this authentic reaction to each other. And it's crazy the fact that our brains are thinking the same thing at the same time. Get the fuck out of here. It's hilarious. I don't read. I need to start reading the comments, but I haven't been. Don't do it. Why? I just don't like the idea of, I think that's why sometimes I don't respond back, because I'm just like, oh wow, just like it. That's it. You don't have to comment. It's fine. Yeah. I know that's what they say on YouTube. Oh, like, comment, subscribe. I don't care if you comment. Because I'm not gonna. I don't want to read it. I don't want to get caught up in that. Where's Marissa? Marissa said we could pay her and she would just read the comments. Yes, for us. Marissa. So if you're watching this and listening to it, you better be. Definitely look at all the comments and tell us the negative stuff, and then let us know who the negative comments are from, and we can block them. Yeah. And let me know if anyone says anything nice about me. I'll send them something. Oh, somebody did put in an application for a husband for you. Oh my God. On YouTube. Yeah. Okay, great. I'll go look at it. Husband application here. So I'll post the application, the formal Google Doc application soon. We'll put in our link tree. Anyway. All right. So someone asked, will you guys ever sell merchandise, like Face Off Pod merchandise? I think we should. We should get hoodies. We wear hoodies all the time. Yeah. We should definitely come up with a hoodie. Yeah. Yeah. My pastor actually is kind of funny. First of all, I love my pastor. He's amazing. Pastor Lamar Simmons in Tallahassee, Florida, Love and Faith Community Church. He's amazing. So I put up a clip of what was it? The breast cancer clip that we put up on the Facebook. And so he's like, oh my God, how did I not hear about you podcasting? I didn't know you had a podcast. And I'm like, we've been friends on Facebook for years, but clearly you didn't watch it. Anyway, so he was like, the Lord does not support. Exactly. So I told him, I said, well, Pastor, I cuss on this for real. And so he was like, so what? He was like, I've been pastoring you for a very long time. I know you cuss. So he was like, I'm still going to support it. So I love him so much for that. Even Jesus fell 3 times. Exactly. And he beat people out the temple. Anyway, so he was like, y'all should make check your boobies t-shirts. Oh. And it was the way he spelled out boobies with like EEZ. I was like, he is a clown, but yeah. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, we'll have merch. Yeah. We should do lapel pins too. We should do gay belts. Ooh, we should. With like our little taglines and stuff on there. We definitely should. Or like badge reels. Yeah, that'll be cute. That'll definitely be cute. We're working on it, all right? Yes, we got to go on Alibaba.com and get some stuff. I'm kidding. Zazzle. Right. All right. So one person, I don't know if I want to answer this question, but I'm going to answer it. It's directed at Fleming. It says, will you ever go back to treating patients at the bedside? Ooh. Dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. Hot take. That's a hard no. What are we gonna say? What the fuck? We're never gonna work together again? I mean, we can go get a job at a sniff. Just see patients on the weekend. Bedside. I know. I don't want to. You don't miss it? Not right now. You were doing it a lot longer than I was. Yeah, I was doing it for 8 years, but I think it was a type of patient. I think had COVID never happened, I wouldn't have got burnt out. Honestly. That's true. Like I still wanted to leave the bedside to pursue leadership opportunities. And that's awesome. But at the same time, right now I'm okay being away from patients. Yeah. I'm totally like, I do miss like when you tell the stories on the podcast about, your patient experiences and stuff. And again, I've only been off the bedside since the end of August. So it has not been a very long time. I've only been away from the bedside for a month. And, when you tell stories, I'm just like, damn, I miss being able to have that type of content. But I'm like, I'm glad I don't have that type of content at the same time. It is like, it's just never ending entertainment, this job. Like you never know who you're going to end up with. You never know what's going to happen. Yeah. It's fun. It is fun. It's good. When it's good, it is real good. That's very true. And when it's bad, it's the worst. Yeah. But I think that's anything good, like anything worth doing. My dream situation would be like 50% bedside, 50% anything else. Yeah. Like whether that be admin, teaching, another job completely. Because I'm just like, I need to hit. Right. I mean, I would still go back. It's such good interaction. I would go back in and do like, 1 or 2 days a week, but not a full day. It had to be like a 4-hour kind of situation.
I worked a half day yesterday and today, and I was like, I was meant to work half day.
Exactly. I could come and do a half day all day.
All day. It was the best. Like, as soon as you're like, oh, I don't want to do this, you're gone.
Yeah, exactly.
That's perfect.
And because by the time you get there, it's already time to leave, which is great. So for right now, I'm definitely taking a 2-year hiatus, at least a 2-year hiatus from the bedside, unless somebody is paying some real serious money. But yeah, I want to be away from the bedside for at least 2 years, at least a year.
Damn.
At least.
You'll come back. I'll get her back. Don't you worry.
Not this year, you won't.
Not this year, but I'll get her.
Nah. I mean, you may get me to go to a sniff and get $75 an hour. I may do that.
Truly. What wouldn't I do for $75 an hour? Shit.
Fuck, I will do that today. How many evals I got to do today? 1? Okay.
Done.
Well, this question is directed at you. Fowler, will you ever leave the bedside or pursue another career?
Yeah, sure.
And what would it be?
Don't know.
Oh, okay.
I love OT. The reason I started thinking about OT school, or that I pursued OT school, is because I knew myself, and I knew I could only keep one job for like 5 years before I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. But with OT, at least I could change settings. I could change populations. I could be in an office doing OT shit.
Why don't you go to prison?
Don't play. I want to go so bad.
Yeah, you should create.
I don't want to go to prison. I want to go
like work in a prison.
Yeah. I need to do some research on it. But I just knew I would get bored and I'd want to move on, and I get interested in that's why I listen to so many podcasts. I get interested in random things and I go off on tangents. So I would leave bedside. I like it a lot right now, so I don't think I'll ever leave completely. I'd still want to bop into a hospital PRN.
That's good though, because you're still in what? How many years out? 2 years.
Hey, I will have been working at the hospital 2 years next month.
That is awesome.
This doesn't seem like 2 years.
No, because we were in a Ponderosa.
Yeah, because I worked for 6 months and then they shot me to inpatient rehab, and I came back and then we were in pandemic.
Definitely. And they were like, yeah, and now we're shoving you back in LRC.
Truly. God, that unit. But I feel like I learned so much at the bedside. I don't ever want to lose it. Yeah. So I would do something else. I don't know what it would be.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm up for anything. If I could pay off all my loans doing OT stuff, I would never do OT again and I'd be okay.
Yeah.
Like, I would feel like it's played its role. It's fine. I can go on and do something else. I just don't know what it would be. That's why I chose OT. I still don't know what I want to do.
I'm okay with not being a physical therapist anymore. I think that's just where I am in my life. I think because I want more, and the more that I want, I'm not completely satisfied in my career as a PT. Like I'm satisfied with the work that I've done and being able to change lives and save lives and do what I have done, because I've done a lot. I really have, especially in the ICU and creating programs and being like a program manager and doing all that kind of stuff. So that's been amazing to be able to learn and to be able to really have complete autonomy in a large ICU. Nice. That was amazing. And to be able to have physicians trust you with their patients, never question you. So I had the freedom to do literally whatever I wanted to do in these particular units. So that was really amazing. And I also had the productivity and the quality to match it. And so because I want to do something else, it's just like, I'm okay with, like, if I had to give my PT degree back, I'm cool with that. Yeah. I paid for it, obviously, but if you just wanted to do that. But I'm just like,
you never lose what you learn. I use OT shit all the time outside of OT.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I wouldn't regret, I don't regret it. I love it still. I think it was so interesting to learn and just to have that skill set. But also, if someone offered me a job doing something crazy tomorrow, making crazy money, I would say peace.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. Definitely.
So.
Definitely. All right. So this is a funny question. So people want to know, will they ever see Darren's face?
No. Darren is a secret to us. Yeah. He's ours.
So for those
you
that
can't
don't
have
know,
everything.
So for those that don't know, Darren is our editor. I'm using air quotes when I say that. He's our editor. And so, you won't see him. We have to keep him a secret.
I feel like those celebrities that are like, you can't have every part of me, and my relationship is something that I don't need to showcase to the world. That's how I feel about Darren.
Yeah, Darren he's our editor. He's our assistant.
He's been with us since day one. Well, like day 2, but still.
Yeah, like day 2. Yeah. We're keeping him around. He does wonderful things. So we probably won't ever show his face. Like, have you ever watched what's his name, Robert Dyrdek? From like Ridiculousness. He had this one show and one of his cousins was on there, and he was like, well, you don't deserve to be famous just yet. So he had a blur put on his face the whole season. So that's kind of how Darren is. Like, he's just a blur. So we're not going to reveal him. We may reveal him at some point in time, but we're not going to reveal him right now. So another question was, will you have more guests on the show?
Hell yeah. Why not?
Definitely. That was fun to have Officer Goodbody and Officer Kim Possible. That was
and
a really
I
fun
missed it
time.
both times.
You did.
So
you did.
I have some interviews to make up on.
Yes, you're gonna have to do the next two, unless there was somebody famous that I'm gonna do them.
Who do we want to interview?
Anybody. Not anybody. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah, no.
No. We were gonna interview. Remember, we were gonna interview my brother-in-law about if Jesus was a saint.
Oh, that's true.
And then he came here for Christmas, and my back was fucked up, so I couldn't do it. I couldn't interview him. I was so mad.
We are taking interviewees right now. So if you think you're interesting enough to be on the podcast,
absolutely,
reach out.
Definitely.
We'll have a Google form along with my application for a husband. So.
Or is mine not gonna be in there?
No.
Damn, I'm older than you. Come on now, your eggs are more
people asked
viable
for
right
it.
now.
The YouTube community wanted it from me.
They said, "Will you all?" That's what the question said. Will you all have more guests?
Oh, okay.
That all it means me too.
Okay,
I'm 50%.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Somebody else asked, "Why y'all keep wanting to see people? Can you give me the name and number to your massage therapist?" No.
The real question.
I'm not giving him up. No.
I'll tell you.
I won't even let Alyssa go to him.
My back has been messed up for probably like 2 months.
No.
I'm over here walking like the bent neck lady, and she's like, "Oh, you can't go see him. No. He's mine."
He rubs on my booty and my booty only. That's it.
I think I'm gonna call Quinta. We'll do some Google research.
Unless he has a wife. If you have a wife, sorry, Mrs. Massage Therapist.
Mrs. rubs on my booty.
Hopefully he doesn't. I mean, hopefully he doesn't have a wife. Hopefully he's just as single as I am.
So you're just gonna gatekeep like that.
Absolutely.
We
just have special time when he rubs on my booty.
That's not our brand.
But I have to keep him a secret. Like that's like sharing him. Like I can't share him. He's mine.
You pay him.
He's mine. You made a hand on once, but I got him all the time. I do pay him.
You pay this man. And you tip him. Yeah. What the fuck?
It's like prostitution.
It literally is.
But I can't share him. I can't share my John. I'm kidding.
Oh my God. Next question.
The next question is, what do your families think of your podcast?
Yo.
We're gonna let Fowler go first.
My mom is just like, I think she listened to one episode and she was just like, girl. Nope. She's like, please get famous at least for the love of God and make this work out. She didn't like it? She's just like, why? And I'm just like, Mom, this is me. This is the real me.
This is who I am, Mom.
The other day she called me and she was like, so I told your Nana about the podcast. I said,
oh, wow.
What? I've kept this from almost my entire family. I'm like, y'all need to know. This is important. Like, why don't my cousins know? But why does everybody else need to know? Y'all need to know what I'm talking about. And I was like, Mom, what? She was like, well, she asked me if I had seen you today. I told her I did earlier, but you were going to go record your podcast. And she said, what's a podcast? And Mom was like, oh, she just records herself talking with one of her friends from work. And she was like, what do they talk about? And my mom told her,
everything.
Mom, just a lot. It's just it's just the thing she's doing. You don't need to listen to it.
Oh my God.
And my Nana was like, well, I'll just pray over her that everything coming out of her mouth is, with God in mind, and she has the wisdom of the Holy Spirit. All this shit, right? Because she thinks I'm probably like, sex, penis, drugs.
Sex. Carter just be most sick.
And my mom was like, yeah, Mom, like, how do you think she has all that CBD stuff at the house? Like, that's one of their sponsors for the podcast. That's why she has all that stuff. And she was like, oh, then I'll really pray that things go well with this podcast and that is blessed by the Lord. So shout out to my Nana because
your Nana is amazing.
Literally, she has a direct line to the man upstairs.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
But my family are just like, they're very supportive from a distance.
Yeah.
They're like, what are you talking? We don't know what it is, and we don't get what you're talking about. And you cuss a lot and sound crazy, but we love you and support you. So, and what more can you ask for?
Pretty much. Yeah, my family, my mother, when she first heard the podcast, she was like, Monica, you're cussing on there. I'm like, that's because I'm a grown ass woman. And I'm like, the fact that you don't hear me cuss, you should be counted an honor and a privilege that I respect you enough not to curse in front of you. Not to say that if I do curse in front of you that I don't respect you, but it's my mom. There's a certain generation that I will not curse in front of.
You can turn it off too.
Oh, absolutely,
so
definitely.
crazy.
That's how we're psychopaths to a degree. But I can cuss off. I can cut off my cursing in a hot second. But yeah, she was just like, it's just a lot of cursing, and I was like, you know how hypocritical you sound because you listen, like you watch CSI Miami and all these other shows that got cursing and nude scenes and everything, and you'd be completely content with that. But then as soon as I say fuck, all of a sudden it's oh my virgin ears, girl, please. So yeah, my mom doesn't listen to it. So she supports it from afar off. My sister, she's like, well, I pretty much have listened to like the first 30 minutes of every episode.
There you go. That's all we need.
That's all we need for the spin.
Perfect.
That's it. So
we don't say anything else the back half.
That's it.
No.
My friends, they support me, and they listen to it. My best friend, she's like a diehard supporter. She comments and shares every last one, and I'm so appreciative of her. So yeah, I mean, other family members are like, oh wow, Monica, you cuss for real in real life? I'll cuss you out. What kind of dumb question is that?
I know. It's one of those things where when you play it back, when you have an audio, like even, have you ever been in the car with someone, like a grandparent or your mom or someone, and someone's cussing, it's not you, and you've listened to it before, you've heard it before, and then all of a sudden you're like, damn, this is cussing a lot.
Yeah.
Because you're just paying attention to it. I think it's that. Like, when it's called to attention, it's a lot. Oh no, I just be talking shit a lot.
I mean, if you focus on the cursing, then you're gonna miss the whole point of what we're saying. You're gonna miss
the content if you focus on the cursing.
Exactly. I mean, everybody curses. Who made this rule that cuss words even exist?
I heard that if you use profanities, you are more intelligent.
Exactly. I'm a genius. So
what's your profanity?
Do you know what that is? No. Where's that from?
Okay, it's from Vine. Fuck Vine, bitch.
I know Vine, but I don't remember that.
You don't remember that one?
Meme from
okay.
it.
Do you remember the one that was like, he's like, told the victim, girl, you thicker than a bowl of oatmeal.
And there was like I do remember that part. The way
Vine.
she read it, it was hilarious.
God, Vine was it.
Yeah.
Me and my mom used to sit on Vine for hours just scrolling.
It's nothing but TikTok with just 6-second videos.
I know, so good.
They're just recreating each other. I'm having a hard time with these headphones today. All right, so one of the last questions that people sent in, because some of them were duplicates, were, will you guys ever do a live podcast or have a live audience?
That's a very interesting question.
Yeah. I think I would be open to it. We would just have it happen. First of all, here's what I do hate. I'm gonna just say this real quick. Here's what I hate: when people go live and there's only 2 people on there. Stop doing that. Get like you looking like, come on in the room. Ain't nobody there.
You mean like Instagram Live? I thought they meant like a live show.
No, but that too.
Oh,
I think that's what they meant. They just said, will you ever do a live podcast or have a live audience?
I don't know how I am in front of people.
Are you shy in
I don't know. I don't know. Now I'm stressed out.
So when you used to do like group projects and you had to give a presentation for class.
Oh no, bitch! I turned the fuck on.
Oh, well, you'll do the same thing in front of an audience.
But that's different. That's like bullshitting to sound smart. I can bullshit to sound smart. I don't know if I can bullshit to sound funny.
Isn't that what we do on the podcast all the time?
Yeah, but not to sound funny.
I mean, I think you could do that. You do it in front of patients all the time.
Look, my leg is shaking. You're making me nervous.
Why does that make you so nervous?
I don't know, dude. Because in my head, it's like stand-up comedy.
No.
And like, I know in my heart
We're
of
not
hearts,
comedians.
I could never do stand-up comedy.
People used to tell me that all the time.
How about that right in?
People used to tell me all the time, you need to be a stand-up comedian. Fuck no. I don't think I'm funny. I legit do not think I'm funny. I think I just say things very bluntly and honestly, and other people find it funny. But I don't think I'm
I think I talk shit with a little bit of spice.
Exactly.
And everyone's like, bah, ha, ha, ha.
It's just my character. But my character a little bit is funny. But I just say the things that people are afraid to say.
I'm good at, I don't even know what you call it, but like the banter, the back and forth, the quick wit. I can do that. I couldn't go up and do like a 15-minute set.
Hell no. First of all, my life is not dark enough for me to do comedy.
We could do we could fuck it up. We could do a live show. We would just have to,
we would have an audience full of people that only think that we're funny.
Yeah.
And we want you guys to turn it up. And just be really stupid.
Only people that like us and know us and love us.
Absolutely.
It's
friends and family.
We call that Thanksgiving and Christmas where I'm from.
Absolutely.
Where I get up in front of the family like,
hey
everybody, it's me again.
Hey friends.
The little black girl of the family who just wants everyone to laugh so they forget that she's black.
You're so crazy.
Bum. Like, if they're all laughing, they forget I'm darker than them.
Exactly.
I'm kidding. That was like a deep-rooted trauma that just came out from the podcast. Okay.
See, this is what the podcast is helping you to realize.
I'm fine. Guys, I'm fine.
Don't step and fetch it. Don't do it. I think that'll be awesome if we were able to have a chance. I was like, are you crying? Oh, please don't cry on the podcast.
Ain't
God.
no bitch.
That would be awesome if we were able to do a live studio audience, or have something nice and small so people can laugh.
Something
in person.
intimate. Yeah. I'll write some beatnik poetry. We can. No?
Nah.
Realize.
Oh, those damn crickets. Yeah, that's weird. All right, so I think that was all the questions. Do you have anything else you want to say about? We're still gonna get into some other stuff, but any other questions you have for me? Or yourself?
Sweet pickles or dill pickles?
Dill.
Okay.
Oreo cakesters are coming back. Whoa. Sorry. Because you brought up snacks. Sorry. Oreo cakesters, motherfuckers, are coming back. God damn it. They're coming back. Oreo cakesters are coming back.
You
Nabisco
having a stroke? What is wrong with you?
It's only because you brought up snacks and I was like,
you were like,
Oreo cakesters. It just like flashed across my face and I was,
dude, I haven't had an Oreo cakester since like 2005.
Yeah, because they stopped making them.
Were they good? I can't remember.
Why would you ask a criminal question like that?
I just remember they're like devil food cakes, right?
Don't you disrespect what?
That's what it was. It was devil food cake with cream in the middle.
No, it was a fluffy Oreo cake like top and bottom with Australian frosting in the middle. I'm kidding. It's not Australian.
So it was a devil food cookie on the top and the bottom with cream in the middle.
It tastes like it was an Oreo cookie.
And they were like 2 in a pack, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm here. When did they stop making those?
I have no clue.
Oreo cake, that was literally the commercial. It sounded like that.
Yes.
Oreo cake.
Listen, Nabisco, I can do it Oreo.
This was a commercial. They would be like, Billy's got an Oreo cakester.
Yes.
Yes.
See? And I could be Billy.
Billy.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm Monica. But
how did you hear that? You saw on the internet?
Yes, Nabisco put out a press release. What are you talking about?
You know why? Because they fucked up a couple months ago.
Yeah, they went on strike. So they were like, hey, to suffice the people, we're going to bring back Oreo cakes.
They took a poll. Yes. They were like, shit, what should we do?
Yeah, I hope they're
like, we'll pay our workers or we can bring back Oreo cakesters.
It's just like at the hospital. They're like, so we know we're short staffed and we're not paying you enough, but here's a pizza party. That's what they're doing. So and guess what we're going to do?
No, you know what they're doing now is there's like these snack buckets everywhere. Like... There's snacks everywhere. They're trying
so hard. That's how you know your turnover rates are high, is when you start just randomly leaving fucking snacks like it's goddamn trick or treat.
And they're good snacks, like full-size candy bars, brand name shit.
Why did you bring any over here? That's disrespectful.
It doesn't even make it to the office. I eat it on the floor.
You're just like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy it now.
It's like 9 a.m. and I'm like a full thing of M&Ms in my mouth.
Wow. Could bring me one Snicker. God,
what are you going to do?
No, I like
Thicker
Snickers.
than a Snicker?
All right. So what's going on in social media?
Kanye's starting a school. Did you hear about that?
A school about what?
What do you mean? Like, not a school of fish. Like
a school for what?
A school for kids.
Oh my God.
But it has like all these crazy basketball recruits.
What? Okay, just because you have money does not. Oh my God, I can't. Wasn't he just bankrupt supposedly a few years ago?
He wants it to be like, you know, that school that LeBron's kids went to in LA, and they're like, or like, remember the school that Drake and Michael B. Jordan were at the basketball game, and then he's dating the mama of one of the kids, and it's like this big basketball school. Yeah. Kanye wants his school to like rival that, I guess. He's making like an academy, Donda Academy in LA. God. But I'm just like, why?
Now, Dr. Umar Johnson been trying to raise money for the past 30 years to open up his damn school. Kanye, why didn't you just invest in Dr. Umar Johnson?
It couldn't be the Donda Academy then.
I mean, he could change. Well, no, he wanted to make it the Frederick Douglass, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X School of Excellence.
Black ass School of Excellence.
It was literally like most of those names. Yeah. Marcus Garvey, something like that.
Yeah.
That's the longest goddamn school name.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with that. I think it's one of those like Tesla things when you just get bored as fuck. So you're just.
He's very bored. Well, speaking of Tesla, aren't they being sued? Or they were sued and successfully sued?
They were sued, and I don't want to speak ill of that company.
It's giving me some ideas. Racism is real.
So I don't know if we talked about it, but there was a guy at Tesla who was suing because he was saying he was being racially harassed. Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
And obviously the courts found some good information because that man.
Didn't he win like a few million dollars?
He will be receiving $137 million because he was racially abused daily.
My Lord. Somebody else about to get. Anyway, I'll just leave that on.
He was an elevator operator.
I heard that they said that people were calling him like the N-word and all that kind of stuff, and
Dude, can you imagine? But to me, it's just like all these nerds that work like, I'm sure normal people work at Tesla, but to me, it's a bunch of nerds being like, hey, Negro, like walking in the door, like trying to be cool as fuck to this.
Hey, Jamal.
Yeah, like, hey, Marcus, all of these things.
Hey, Tyrone.
Like, what's up? And it was just super racist. And he was like, I'm going to get these motherfuckers.
I know what that feels like. Somebody else about to be getting those. Anyway. Yep.
So yeah, that's what's been going on. There's a Brittany Murphy documentary on HBO.
Can I tell you my all-time favorite movie?
Uptown Girls?
Yes.
Uptown Girl.
I was so sad when her and Amy Weinstein. Winehouse.
You
What
did
the
not
fuck?
call her Amy Weinstein.
I'm so sorry.
What is wrong with you?
Jesus, Amy Winehouse.
R.I.P.
When Britney Murphy and Amy Winehouse died, that was probably the only two white women I have ever cried over. I was so sad when they died because I love Britney Murphy and
Diana. That didn't get you?
I was a kid when she died.
Okay, that got me.
Were you even born?
Surely, I was a child.
I asked Siri when Princess Diana died.
Hey Siri, when did Princess Diana die?
Diana, Princess of Wales, died August 31st, 1997.
I was 3.
I was in the 7th grade. I didn't know her. We didn't even have cable. My parents didn't have cable. I didn't even know who Princess Diana was. I knew who she was, but no.
I wear biker shorts in her name.
Wow. She was an amazing person.
She was.
Yeah,
I watched a lot of Princess Diana documentaries in the last year.
Oh, they definitely killed her. Allegedly, for the podcast. But they killed her.
Yeah, no, Amy Winehouse, sad.
But her
Murphy,
voice was beautiful.
Sad.
Yeah.
I love Uptown Girls. And I love that movie with her and Ashton Kutcher, Just Married.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good one.
Yeah, definitely.
Dakota Fanning. Oh, so good.
Dakota Fanning is amazing. She was a cheerleader, too.
She was a cheerleader? Mm-hmm. Interesting. What a fun fact.
Yep. But, yeah, also, too, Dave Chappelle has been in the news. Have you seen his latest
I didn't watch
stand-up?
this, but so, I don't know how I feel. Like, I like Dave Chappelle, but everything he says is so controversial that it's exhausting to engage with.
Yeah.
So I just don't. So
Dave Chappelle actually got a contract or has a contract with Netflix where I think he put out 5 specials and this was his last one called The Closer, and which it definitely was a closer. But anyway, I am a fan of Dave Chappelle, right?
He's hilarious.
And he is freaking hilarious. I love the fact that he's a storyteller, but he's a conscious storyteller. Mm-hmm. To me, he's like a modern day Paul Mooney. And do you know who Paul Mooney is? Nope. Oh my God, you need to go back and listen to him. He is freaking amazing. Paul Mooney will sit there for hours and just talk about things politically, religion, all kind of stuff, financial, race, everything. But he's so funny. He was so funny. He died this year. I think Paul Mooney died. Yeah, he died this year. Anyway, and so on his next Netflix special, he's been getting some heat from the LGBTQ community, specifically the trans community, and they've always said that he's been very homophobic and transphobic and things like that. Of course,
but he's Kim Kardashian's favorite house guest.
Yeah, but she better stay away from him because they're gonna put her ass in that shit too. But I can never say what's offensive because I'm not a part of the LGBTQ plus community, so I can never say what's offensive to them or to anybody else. But I just know that I like his comedy, and there was some controversy about what he said, because that clip that kind of went all over the place about him speaking on the rapper DaBaby, and how he killed a guy, or he shot and killed a guy in Walmart allegedly. I'm just saying this for the podcast.
Lil Baby or DaBaby?
DaBaby. No, DaBaby shot. The one who just got canceled.
For saying shit AIDS, about AIDS.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
So he was like, look it up. He was like, DaBaby he killed this guy in Walmart, shot and killed this guy.
DaBaby looks like he killed someone in Walmart.
But he didn't get it. Nothing happened to his career. And then Dave Chappelle, this is Dave Chappelle's words, not mine. Dave Chappelle says, but the minute he hurt someone's feelings from the LGBTQ plus community, all of a sudden now his career is canceled.
We done been knowing that,
right? But I think the point that he was trying, I won't say the point that he's trying to make, because I won't take up for him like that. But what I got from it was what Dave Chappelle was saying, and what I understood is that what he was saying is that as a black man and as a black person in this country, a person of color, things can happen to you without consequence. But then as soon as you say something about a person from the LGBTQ plus community, all of a sudden all hellfire comes down. And he gave this really touching story, honestly, about one of his friends who was transgender, and I'm saying was because the person unfortunately is no longer alive, but he was saying that, through this person, through his transgender friend, he was able to learn, I think, more so about the trans community, and about how his words affected certain situations. So I think it was kind of like to me, it felt like he was making amends or trying to bridge the gap between him and the LGBTQ plus community. And then of course, the Black Coalition was like, oh, we want Netflix, we want you to pull the stuff and all this other kind of crap. And I'm just
so
like, oh,
what's
my
the
God.
Controversy?
I guess they said that he made transphobic comments. Because remember the one act that he did when he first released his comedy, on Netflix, he was talking about how there's this car and you have the lesbians, the gays, the bisexuals, and the trans, and where they are in the car and all that kind of stuff. But yeah. So I think it started, but I think it even started from before that point, where he would make jokes about people who are transgender. And of course they didn't like it very much, obviously. But again, I can't say what makes somebody offended or whatever the case may be. I just think his comedy is funny, and I didn't find certain things offensive because I'm not a part of that community, obviously. So
here's my thing. I haven't watched this, so probably about to put my foot in my mouth. Don't really care. It's not like, and it may be, you can tell me if it is. Is it a 60-minute spiel on transgender people?
No.
I feel like if you're going after everyone equally or multiple different people, like he's a comedian.
Yeah. He wasn't going after that. I think he was talking about the trans community from his perspective and from his experience. And so he talked about Black people. He talked about Hispanics. He talked about, all these groups of people. But I think maybe he just has a special relationship, which is not a great relationship, with the LGBTQ plus community.
He's a Black man.
Right. And the thing is, he told them, he was like, I don't have a problem with people who are trans, people who are gay, or people who are lesbian. He was like, again, I have a lot of friends who are part of this community, but there are certain things I think, just even in life, again, you can say, if you say something about Jews and the gays, you'll lose your life.
Right.
But you can go and call Black people niggas, you can go and call Hispanics all kind of slurs, and nothing ever happens. It's fucking one. Our little decoration. Nothing happens. There's no consequence for it. But then as soon as you say something, and it's not that you say something bad, you may say something that may be ignorant or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, but white people belong in those specific groups.
Exactly.
So there is a power in that group.
And honestly, what I felt like he said too was, which I agree with. Here's my thing about the LG, like specifically Black people in the LGBTQ plus community. I personally, as a heterosexual woman, do not believe that the LGBTQ plus community really embraces people of color. And I'm gonna tell you why. Remember,
Because you watch Pose?
No, but I do watch Pose because it's an amazing show. But I think because the reality is that in the United States of America, in the history of America, you don't have the option to be gay or lesbian or trans. You just Black. And we don't like you because you fucking Black.
Yeah.
And Black trans women, trans men, LGBTQ plus representatives from the Black community will go into these spaces for equal rights. You can't even get equal rights as a Black person. So why do you think that equal rights in the LGBTQ plus circle is going to apply to you? It's not. So when you're marching with these white LGBTQ plus people, they marching for themselves. They still looking at you as you two-faced human at the end of the day. So you don't get to share those same rights, unfortunately. And I think, people, even with the crimes that have been committed and the death rate that has gone up with regard to trans men and women in today's society, it will, and it's not like it's a competition, but it'll never surpass the amount of just plain Black bodies. Whether you're gay, you're straight, you're Bahamian, you're Haitian, you're African, it don't matter. Like you're Black, so you already have that one strike against you. Yeah. Nobody cares that you're gay. Nobody cares that you're trans. Nobody cares that you're from this country or that island. You have Black skin, and so they don't give a shit about you regardless.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I got from what Dave Chappelle was saying, was that was his point. That you can do, the baby as a Black man allegedly killed another Black man, and his career was not affected. But as soon as
he used his words against this very specific group of people, this marginally smaller group of people who are more influential.
Exactly.
Some would argue because of the color of their skin.
Yes, absolutely.
And his career's trashed.
Exactly. And so when they came out saying, "Oh well, he said these remarks about this and that," and it was just like an overwhelming response, like
Didn't
on a lot of stuff.
The baby has beaten up motherfuckers at the club too bad. He's done a lot of shit.
That's what I'm saying. But the minute you say something about these people, you know what I mean? Like this group of people. And I think he proved his point, because the fact that now people are like, oh, he's so transphobic. I'm not here to say whether he's transphobic or not. I can't say that he's transphobic. You know why? Because I'm not trans. So I will never be offended. I can never be offended if I'm not a part of that particular community. I can say, now if he came out and said trans women are horrible or something like that, then yeah, I can be like, whoa, bitch, no, wait a minute, don't, you're going too far now. No, that's wrong. This is wrong. But I think, I think he was trying to really storytell how he felt about supposedly being canceled, and then put Netflix in a different position, because I don't think Netflix is going to pull it, because I didn't think it was bad. I really don't. But again, I'm not a trans.
Negative press is still what?
Press, exactly. But I'm not a part of the trans community. So if that's what they felt like, if people who are trans are saying that was wrong,
But also, you're allowed to feel a type of way about what someone says and not listen to it or not watch it or say that you don't want to. I don't know.
Exactly.
Can we stop? I don't know. Unless people say egregious shit. If he was out here saying like kill every trans life,
no, he did not.
That's egregious, and I'd be like, here's what we're not doing. But also, people are allowed to share their opinion, and you're allowed to just log off or not watch it or do whatever you want to do.
But I felt like even at the very end of it, he really brought it home with the story about his friend who was a trans woman and unfortunately committed suicide, and just his experience with her navigating through this life that he has no clue about and being able to see it through her lens and have his own perspective with her. I think that brought, to me, it was like a full circle moment, you know, like people got mad at Kevin Hart. Like we were talking about this earlier when he made the comment about hitting his son over the head with a dollhouse or whatever, playing with the dollhouse or something like that. And people like went and blew it up. Like this man that was 10 years ago. And he's already said his views have changed. So do you want to be mad or do you want people's views to change about it?
Yeah, you can't do both.
You can't do both. Yeah, they're allowed to grow. And you can't keep bringing up people's past for certain things if the behavior has stopped. The reason why we can call people racist is because your racist ass behavior has not stopped. So you're still actively a racist. You're still actively a piece of shit, right? But I mean, if people have grown about, like even myself, like there were like the way that I grew up, because I grew up in a very strict religious household. Are you crying?
No.
Oh,
I yawned.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm boring the fuck out of you. Whatever.
But I worked today.
That's true. But even though I grew up in a very strict religious household, I was taught that homosexuality is a sin. Do I believe that as an adult, now that I've done my own research, my own reading in the Bible? I do not believe homosexuality is a sin. And I will say that boldly. Am I a part, again, if I am not a part of the LGBTQ plus community, I am a heterosexual woman, but I do not believe that God is going to send to hell two men because they love each other. That makes no sense to me. And as a kid, I believed that up until I started reading the Word of God for myself and interpreting it for myself and having a personal relationship with God. There's no way God is telling you that, you know, his first service was to people and you're telling me that, oh, well, if he created me in his image and then I'm gay, all of a sudden now I'm dying and go to hell. That makes no sense. Yeah. That makes no sense. Not to me, it don't. Now you can preach whatever you want to preach. You ain't gonna get to change my mind. I'm just telling you. So for all you preachers out there, you ain't gonna change my fucking mind about that shit. God loves everybody at the end of the day.
ELE. Everybody love everybody.
So exactly. But yeah, I didn't think it was a bad comedy special.
I have to watch it.
There were some jokes.
Squid Games.
There were some jokes he made on the edge, and I was like, ooh, when he said something about the Jews, I was like, they don't do it.
It's so weird. So I don't know what I was I was watching Scary Movie 2 the other day.
I love that movie.
Watching it, I was just like, this did not age well.
Yeah.
But it only didn't age well because now we're like, oh, can't say that.
Exactly.
You can't, like, that shit's still funny, but you're just like, you know now, you're like, you can't say shit like that. So it's just interesting now. There's a lens watching everything because you're like, ooh, that could be construed this way. Ooh, they're going to get you for that.
But I think the sensitivity of the world has
turned all the way up.
Oh my God. It's just like people are comedians and then it's not to say to excuse their bad behavior, but at the same time, comedians are put in place to say the things out loud that you want to say. You know, like if some of our group chats, I think, were exposed, we'd all be in a lot of trouble.
100%.
Yeah. And that's everybody on both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah. I feel like so many groups were marginalized for so long that there was this huge focus on inclusivity and diversity to where every little group has a group. Every person, every little quirk, every little thing, every way you can feel has its own group. And then every little group thinks they're this larger part of society when in reality you are a member of a very small group.
Right.
But it's that tit for tat catch-22 shit where you're like, you know, you should be celebrated because of your differences. Yeah. We're also not going to change everything we do because of this minority group of people. But also blacks were a minority group of people and we needed to change. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah. I just think
I'm not in politics.
You can't be offended and want people to change at the same time. Like, yes, it happened. They said something that offended you. Okay, now educate and move forward. Don't keep bringing up what they said. Well, you said this 27 years ago. Okay, are you going to let them learn from it? Are you going to give them the space to grow? Well, we've given you 5 years. Okay, well, your cousin was an addict and you giving them 20 years to get it together. So why can't you give him time to say whatever? And then there are some people a part of that community who were not offended.
Yeah.
Some people were offended, some people weren't. So sometimes you just hear the louder voice becomes the more offended. So, you know.
And more recently, it's been the more, like, the smallest community. And by community, I just mean, like, group of people.
Yeah.
But they're so loud on social media that they cause all this change.
Yeah.
Which is, actually really interesting that, you know, just people online gather together, and it's probably a minuscule number, can affect change. But it's also like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and the thing is too, people are going to support who they want to support. So whether they say something controversial or not, I still
people
watched
are still watching it special.
Absolutely, and the thing is, and I
he
will still.
already got paid. He already got paid,
and I will, and whether they pull it or not, he already got the money. He got the check. Anytime Dave Chappelle comes into this city, I will absolutely support it and go see it because I think he's an amazing comedian. And people may say, well, that's because he hasn't said anything to piss you up. I don't agree with everything Dave Chappelle says, but I still don't think that he comes from a malicious place either.
I love Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle's amazing.
Somebody call Ja Rule.
He is absolutely. I really want him to do a block party part 2, but he probably won't now because he has more, money back again.
You don't have to agree with everything.
No,
everyone says, and you also don't have to cancel everyone over everything they say.
No, you don't. This cancel culture is ridiculous. Like, canceling people who do some really egregious stuff is appropriate. But just because somebody said something that you don't like, that's not canceling. Like that doesn't deserve canceling.
No.
Again, Paula Deen called people niggas.
Bill Cosby, that's a cancel.
That's a
no.
Yes. No.
We have separated William.
Yes.
From Bill Cosby show.
Bill Cosby the man.
We have canceled.
Yes. The show. No.
No.
It's still gonna go on. And Different World. Absolutely. R. Kelly. Canceled. But I'm still listening to the CDs that I paid for.
Robert Kelly is on the list.
Absolutely, but I'm still listening to the CDs
that she already purchased with her money. There are no residuals.
Yes, I'm not streaming it. They pulled his stuff from something Spotify, I think it was, or something like that.
I was like, dude, that's insane. He is crazy.
I Believe I Can Fly was a good song. See, I know you want.
What if they just played the instrumental? Who? You know what does?
They did a white version of it.
Here's what they did: a white version of it.
I think it was not what's his name, Michael Bolton.
Oh my god!
I think he sung
I need to listen to it. My thing is, so it's not just R. Kelly putting these songs together. There's all these other people who did the production and the instrument and all this shit, right? So do they not? They just don't get any more money.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what's fucked up.
But even with the Cosby Show, when they took the Cosby Show off of the air, I thought that was so unfair because you have other people who were on that show who benefit from the residual funds. Like, I don't care how small they are. They're still your residual funds.
That's why when you have the team on your back, you got to act right. Because look what happened.
No, I just don't think you should cancel. I don't think you should cancel everything about that person's contributions because there are people who still benefit from their work.
Big companies are just going to do.
Oh yeah, they want at least controversy as possible. But
can you imagine working for a big company? That would be so stressful. Like PR for them, marketing. Oh no,
I wouldn't be PR for anybody.
Even
if I became famous, which I just
famous.
No, I want the fortune. I don't want the fame. Just give me the fortune, so I can still go to Target and go to the dollar spot. But when I do get fortune, and if it does come with fame, I'm not gonna hire a PR person. I said what the fuck I said.
Oh no, we gonna get canceled.
No, but you just
quit with the swiftness.
No, but there's just certain things that you just don't say out loud.
That's true.
So like even in the moment, you just take a pause. You mother. Okay.
I just think everyone needs to be media trained. Everyone thinks they can just go on social media and do whatever they want. Everyone needs to give up their social media, have a Finsta, give your social media over to someone who just posts pictures with no captions, a la Beyonce, and keep it pushing.
Beyonce is the perfect example of how to run a social media page.
Truly. She's like, here's what you get, no caption, just a picture. This is the little portion of my life that I'll allow you to see.
And she get 20 million views on it. And people be like, oh my God, she didn't tell us what this was from. It was probably 20 years ago.
Literally. It's probably like 6 months ago. She was on a vacation. She's like, archived.
Absolutely. Take your pointers from for as far as PR from Beyonce. And just don't say nothing.
Remember the elevator video?
She stood her ass right there.
Has not said a fucking word about it.
I mean, she kind of technically did on the song. You know, of course some shit gonna go down on the elevator. You know, 2 billionaires in the elevator. I get it. Makes sense. I love how she played on it, but she set her ass right there while her sister whooped her husband's ass. It was just like, I ain't getting into it. It's not my business. It's not my business.
She's minding her billionaire business.
Listen, I love it. I love it. Anything else we want to talk about? Anything for the rehab corner? You and this wheezing. Good God Almighty.
I don't think I have anything for the rehab corner.
No. You were at work today. Where are those poppers? You were at work today.
I was at work today.
You almost killed one of my old patients.
I did. We could tell that. Here's a popper.
Let's just do one.
Y'all, let me tell you a quick story about my job that I do. Sometimes you hear a lot about a patient, right? Like everyone in the office is talking about him because they've worked with him, and you're just hearing negative things. So you're already preparing yourself. You're like, this is gonna fucking suck.
Yeah.
But I just have to get through it. When I tell you I spent 89 minutes in this man's room, 89 minutes. What's the typical amount of time for a treatment session?
23
minutes in and out, clockwork. 89 minutes I spent in. When I tell you that I walked into the room, he's the sweetest man, y'all. He's so nice. I walked into the room. He's sitting in a recliner chair, his legs up. I literally just hear this like, whoosh, like someone's water broke. And I'm like, that's so weird. Not a woman, not pregnant.
I can already imagine what that is.
Whoosh. Shit. Complete loose diarrhea shit.
Now you see why I don't miss the bedside.
Has fallen through the recliner chair crack and is all on the floor.
This is why I don't miss the bedside.
So I'm like, I want to walk out and be like, hey, nurse, he's dirty. But I don't because I'm a good person. And so I'm like, well, let me double glove because we're about to get dirty.
Yeah.
And had I chart reviewed, I might have seen that this man is hypotensive. I didn't chart review. I'm not good at my job. It's fine. So I said, sir, how long have you been standing up with therapy? His wife says he stands for about 10 seconds, but he'll do it 3 times. I said, okay, game plan.
Cool.
We're going to clean up this shit on the floor so you don't slip and kill yourself. We'll stand as long as you can. We'll get you clean. We'll change the sheets on the chair. We'll sit back down if we need to. As many times as we need to stand, we will to get you clean. We're all for it. Cool. It's me and the PT. We're in this to win this. We stand him. It's a literally, this man has nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing to give. Nothing's kicking. We stand him. It's total assist. He's giving me all he's got. I'm trying to do that therapist shit where you're like, good job, sir. You're doing great.
Yeah.
You're doing great. And
The manipulation in line.
The manipulation in line where you're like, fuck, dude. This
is going to go really bad.
Isn't looking good. So I'm just like, giving him the pep talk. Your numbers look great. Da-da-da-da-da. He starts leaning his head on my shoulder, which, like, that's not weird. You're tired. You can't hold yourself up, whatever. So I'm like, hey, sir, you're doing great. And he was responding before, but now he's not. So I start doing the little shoulder shake where I'm like, sir.
Mind you, this was a patient of mine from last year.
This is literally 1 year ago.
Last year.
He has been in a hospital for a year.
Over a year.
I'm like, sir. And then I just feel his complete legs buckle. I'm like, oh, we gotta go back to the chair. Throw this man back in the chair. He is white as a ghost. And all I can think is like, I cannot kill this patient. His wife is in the room.
Yes.
He's made it through COVID, lung transplant, all of these things.
Yeah.
Mooney I'm like, I'm not killing one of her patients. She'll never let me fucking
please
live it
don't
down.
kill my patients.
So we get a blood pressure from him. His MAP is 34.
Which it should be 60.
It should be 60. His blood pressure, what is a normal blood pressure?
120/80.
His blood pressure is 50/20. That means the heart ain't hardened.
The heart ain't hard.
I've shoved this man back in the recliner, and they're the new recliners, so his feet go up about 30 degrees.
Yeah.
That's it. And I'm like, son of a. I have to push the head of the recliner chair down. Someone throws his feet up, and we're just sitting there, and he's like, oh. I'm like,
you don't know whether to push the cold blue button or not.
This close. I was like, if it doesn't come up in literally 2 minutes, I'm fucking dead. So finally his pressure goes back. It's traumatic, y'all. I felt so bad. This sweet, sweet man. And
the fact that his wife was in the room.
His wife is in the room. Family in the room is the worst because then you feel even worse because there's a fucking, what do you call? Witness,
yeah.
And we finally get his pressure up. I feel so bad. He's like, I'm sorry. I wanted to try so hard. Aww. And I was like, you did try so hard. I'm
Poor
sorry.
guy.
So then his wife says, well, I know that was dramatic, but we used to have to put Levo on just so he could get his MAP above 90 so he could participate with therapy. For those of you at home that don't know, Levofed is a presser.
Yeah.
Get
cardiac
your
presser.
Cardiac presser. Get your fucking heart pumping. What does it do? Constrict your...
Vasoconstrictor.
Yeah, vasoconstrictor to increase the pressure in your heart and your heart rate so that your heart is
It's also poison to your arms and legs. If you
it is poison to your arms and legs. So basically what she was saying is we used to give him this drug to make his heart beat so that he could participate in therapy so that even when his heart did, like his blood pressure did drop, it was still within a range that was, I don't know, livable, functionable, rehab worthy. And I was like, why the fuck did no one tell me that? You told me he was standing for 10 seconds. You didn't want to throw in that little tidbit?
Nah, they wanted it to be a surprise.
So then I felt so bad that I was in the room for another fucking 50 minutes because we had to wrap him up. We took him outside. He's on C. diff precautions for. They don't even think it's C. diff. They just think there's no pylori in his stomach anymore, and he's just shitting.
He's been in the hospital for a whole year. What do you expect?
Basically, we wheeled him out into the windows. I let him sit in the sun for an hour.
That poor man.
That poor man. All I could think was like, I can't kill you. I refuse.
All that hard work that Queen and I did with him last year, you kill my patient, I'll kill you.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, and not with me, sir. Like, not with me.
No, definitely not.
I'm in the business of life,
Definitely
not death.
You better not.
So, but it was, he's so sweet. And those are the days where I'm like, therapy, you know?
Like, and those are the days where I'm just like, I don't miss this shit. I don't miss it.
You don't.
Mm-mm. At least not right now. I think I will after a year, but not right now.
Oh, my embolic stroke patient stroked everywhere, right? Till I walk in the room, he tells me, I said, are any changes in your vision? He goes, no, but there's stars all above your head.
Oh my God.
I said, right now, you see the stars?
CT stat.
He said, there are stars over there in the window. And mind you, it's 11:30 in the morning. Stars all above you and in the window. I said, oh, interesting. I said, that's so crazy. No one's ever told me they see stars above my head. He was okay. Sit at the edge of the bed, starts hysterically crying. I'm a loser. My son's a fighter. My daughter's a fighter. I'm a loser. There's nothing to live for. I can't even work my arm. So I had to do the bullshit where I'm like, sir.
No, you're amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was like, listen, you are in a bad spot right now, but you still got movement in the arm. You're sitting up at the edge of the bed. Bullshit. I mean, it wasn't bullshit. It's true. But it was just like me being like, can you stop crying so we can get through the eval?
Seriously.
Like, I want to be sensitive to you, but I'm on a time schedule.
Gotta go.
But there was no, and like, mind you, right before I came in the room, he ripped out his entire IV from his arm. He's bleeding everywhere.
Oh God.
But nothing weird. I mean, it was strange, but nothing
weird other than snatching out his IV. Awesome.
Next day I come in and I just hear yelling from one of the rooms.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is it? And he's like, fuck you, motherfuckers. I'm going to break your kneecaps. But just going off.
Is this embolic strokes frontal lobe?
It was everywhere.
Jesus.
And he was just going off. And so they were like, the case manager was like, he wants to leave AMA. I said, how the fuck is he going to do that? He can't walk. And they were like, he's going to crawl is what he's saying. He wants to crawl out of the hospital because he had a stroke and he can't move half of his body. So she's like, we just need to find him some clothes. And I said, you know what? For you, I'll go we have surgical scrubs.
Yeah.
I'll go grab you some. She said, okay. I go to grab surgical scrubs. And I'm like, perfect. OT wants to see him later. I'll give him to the OT. They can get a treatment out of it. She's like, okay. I sent the PT in there because I was like, just go see him. Walk him around. He's crazy. So the PT and the OT go in there. They start walking him around. I see them walking down the hall. He's doing this little big limp.
Yeah.
He looks awful. They walk by his room to go back in. Starts screaming, I'm not going back in there. I'm not going back in there. Crazy. The man is crazy.
Yeah. He just had a stroke everywhere. So
he did just have a stroke everywhere. But he's cussing everybody out. And he's saying he's not going to go back in his room. And you know what I did?
You went in there and dressed him.
I walked away.
Oh, good for you.
Thank you.
Good for you.
I'm really making moves. I made sure they're okay. And I was like, I have to go.
Yeah, I'm not giving any energy to that. Nope.
No, the OT tricked him into sitting back down and she locked him in with his tray table.
That's good.
But I'm like, that's a day at the hospital, you know?
Yeah, that's a typical day. If that doesn't happen, something's wrong.
Yeah, so I don't know that you should miss the bedside, but it was good while it lasted.
Yeah, it was a great run.
And I have stars above my head. I'm an angel.
That or he's, has a premonition.
Ooh.
I'm not finding another co-host.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so don't die. Anyway. And you said you were watching Squid Games, right? You finished
I am. I'm on episode 5.
I cannot wait for you to finish that damn show.
I know, I need to. We went to go see 007. What is that? James Bond?
Oh, James
we saw
Bond.
the new James Bond movie. Do you like James Bond? No?
Not at all.
You haven't seen any of them?
Nope.
Really?
Nope. My mom loves the James Bond. I hate James Bond. I hate it.
Do you hate it just because she likes it?
No, I just hate it because I don't think it's a great storyline.
Spies. You don't like spies?
Nope.
Spies are cool.
Melissa McCartney was a great
Dude,
spy.
I listened to this whole podcast about how the CIA is basically shit right now because it's so hard to be a spy. And all these informants have either been...
Because they're probably taking selfies. Fucking idiots.
All these informants have either been turned or killed. And so they're like, what the fuck?
I mean, Americans are not really good with being able to hide, if you haven't noticed.
But I think if you're really into James Bond, then maybe you will not like this James Bond movie.
I don't like James Bond.
No Time to Die. But if you're like an average James Bond fan, you just like action movies and you like it, you should go watch it.
Cool beans. Well, we got to get on out of here. So thank y'all for listening to our 1 year anniversary episode. We appreciate you guys for listening and taking this journey with us, and just keep taking the journey with us. It's only going to get better, and we're only going up from here, man. We're only going up from here.
Maybe we'll see you next year.
We will see you next year, unless I become a millionaire. And when I do, I'm out.
Who knows? Yeah, I'm not doing anything that I don't want to do.
That's very true. Oh, did we take that part off too?
I guess, yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. We're trying to get these little popper things correctly so we can...
Your nails are so nice.
Thank you. I just did like a whole bit about my nails. But anyway, neither here nor there. All right, y'all. Well, y'all have an amazing week. Spread love.
Spread love and light.
And don't forget to laugh your face off. Happy anniversary.
What?
I don't think we're supposed to do that.
What?
What the fuck? Were we supposed to keep the cap on?
What?
What the fuck did you buy?
Why isn't it going? Maybe you're supposed to launch it that way.
Okay, let's put some of the stuff in. God damn it, I'm about to clean this shit up.
Well, you have another one. Hold on.
Wait, all right, y'all. Happy 1 year anniversary.
Woo!
These poppers suck.
Yay!
Did they give you instructions on how to use this? Anyway, let's get the hell out of here. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for your support.
Maybe you're supposed to throw them.
Maybe.
Like, literally just like...
We're going to read the instructions for the second one. Woo!
I think
been
maybe...
weird.
I think you're... Hold on, let me try it.
We're over here wasting film and shit. We're supposed to be getting out of here. All right, y'all. Have a nice week. Have a wonderful week, y'all.
Like this, look. Oh, no, that didn't work
No,
either.
we definitely got to...
Oh, that worked.
You got to just
My
hit it
thing
like
doesn't come up like yours, though, this thing.
Is yours backwards?
No.
Mine's loose.
Oh, that would have helped.
You got to break it out and then it...
Oh, you like really have to hit it.
Yeah.
That's why. Okay.
Gotcha. We'll
Now
go
we go
next
for
one.
the next one.
Yes.
We should have taken pictures before.
I know, we really should have. God damn it. We didn't think about it.
Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at The Face Off Pod. Be sure to tune in to The Face Off every Tuesday where new episodes are released.